go, our first story. You know, the 2024 30-day Ramadan season for Muslim faithful worldwide is built to start on March the 10th this year. In the build-up to the event, the Supreme Council for Shari'ah in Nigeria has asked the federal government to expand the social safety net aimed at providing immediate relief to the most vulnerable during the Ramadan fast. The president of the council, Abdul Rashid Abdullah, I hope I got that right, stated this during a pre-Ramadan meeting in Kaduna. Now, remember the lesson of Ramadan, becoming closer to Allah and refraining from all negative behaviors. Chris.
Yes, please. The essence of these religions, whether Christian or Muslim, is for humanity, as it were, and the welfare of humanity. And each of these religions, in their holy books, also asks their adherents to also take care of the poor amongst them. So it is a welcome development, and good enough. The group is asking the federal government to extend the social safety nets to some of these adherents. And I will tell you for free that some of the houses or the churches or mosques are doing this already. If you go to some of these mosques in the evening or during prayers, after prayer, they share things among them. There's a particular one that really interests me, and that was one done by one church, Dunamis Church. I don't know whether I've seen that picture. Dunamis Church in Uyo, actually, in your state.
Okay.
Yes, recently. You see that church that on a one service the last Sunday, they brought up heaps and heaps of yams, gari, rice, and the rest. And they were sharing it among the vulnerable members in the church. And that, to me, was instructive. Because of most of what we are hearing these days, you're just talking about prosperity. That is all these churches preach. Prosperity. Tithe. Pay your tithe. And you ask, how do people pay their tithes when they are not even having anything to be able to do? So, although it's biblical, but I believe that if the hands of friendship and this is reach out to the poor among it will go a long way. So I totally agree with that.
CK, it remains an enduring lesson of the season.
It is. It is. And it shouldn't be seasonal for me.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be seasonal. It shouldn't be limited to the Ramadan or the Easter period or Christmas. It should be all through. If there's only, seriously, if you travel most of the time, especially across the globe, and you are stranded, most often than not, it's either you go to the police station or you go to the church. Yeah. If you are stranded,
for help,
if you don't have a place to stay, you see the nearest church or the mosque, you just walk in there and just tell them, I'm stranded, and they provide for you, and that's what it's supposed to be.
Okay. Well, it is not an accident that both the Christians are observing Lent, even as the Muslim will commence Ramadan very shortly.
I think it's a lesson to all of us that we are one before God. Because when you are talking about Ramadan, it's traced to the time Angel Gabriel appeared to Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then that was around 610 AD, and revealed the Quran to him in what is called Laylatul Qadr, the night of power. And in order to remember this, Muslims decide to see that the 9th month of the Islamic calendar will sit as a holy month. At the time that you are going to be committed to more worship, devotion, self-sacrifice, non-violence, and obedience to God. And if you look at that angel, Gabriel, it's called Jibril, in the Holy Quran.
Okay, in Islam.
Yes, in Islam. It has the same meaning. God is my strength. The same angel Gabriel also appeared to Virgin Mary to tell him about the birth of Christ, and also appeared, to Zechariah about the birth of John the Baptist. So it is the same. It is called Gabriel in Christianity and Jibril, in Islam. So when you look at the similarity, Lent started around 29 AD, in remembrance of how Jesus Christ spent 40 days in the wilderness.
And 40 nights.
And 40 nights. And he fasted to receive the words of God and then spiritual. So it's the same similarity, the same thing. And that is why we're always saying that people are fighting each other on the basis of religion. They have very little understanding of what Christianity and Islam actually mean, because they are the same. They are all children of Abraham.
Yeah.
So I think it's a moment that we need to help each other. It's not just about the federal government, because I think federal government should actually have less role to play in religious matters. But
and by the way, we are talking about
giving food
across the country.
Across the country.
Yeah.
So it's going to be easier in essentially Islamic states like Zamfara, Sokoto, and Katsina. But in other plural states, it may not be that easy, because Christians are also having Lent. So if you're now talking about federal government taking it over, maybe setting up committees talking about billions, it's another diversion. But I think mosque should take it over by speaking to their members who are better endowed, bank managers, people who are richer, corporate organizations, so that those mosques should be the centers. Because no matter how poor a man is, he has one church that he goes, he has one mosque that he attends. So I think this should be driven by Islamic leaders, so that they can raise those funds and then give to the less privileged. And I also think politicians, senators, House of Rep, who are Christians or Muslims, should work together at this moment and help those that cannot afford, what is needed at this moment. I agree with what he's saying. Yeah,
it should go beyond the season.
Yeah, because there's a church at Oregon, Laughter Foundation, has been giving food for the past 4 years to Christians and Muslims come there. I think it's the third or fourth service. They come and collect food. So it's not just about, we should see ourselves as brothers, And I know that also there are some mosques that do the same thing. So we should work together, assist ourselves, see ourselves as one. Yeah. And this is a moment for us to remember that Christianity and Islam, it's just the polity that is different. But in terms of spirituality, we are one people before God.
Chris, and for a country 200 plus million strong that prides itself on being religious, you expect most of the man-made problems in this country to be solved by man.
Well, I've always said that ours is one of the most religious, quote unquote, nation in the world. But I continue to ask why corruption continues to strive, because on a Friday, you see Nigerians trooping to the mosque. On a Sunday, you see the number of, in fact, in Nigeria now, there are some buildings you go to. There are 3 levels of churches in one building. First, you know that, citizen. One, the down floor, one church is there. In the middle one, another church. That is how religious we are. But has that really reflected in the lives of the people? I don't think so. At times we can be more religious than the Pope, as they say. More Catholic than the Pope. But beyond that, I think, as I've said, it goes beyond even religion. Because we've been talking about, yes, Muslim and Christian, there are still some people that don't believe in Muslim, that don't believe in Christianity in Nigeria. There are some people that still believe in African traditional religion. Yeah, they are. If you go to remote villages, there are some people that don't go to church. But they believe in that Amadion or Shun, name them. And this thing. So I would take it beyond just religion. I also said that our people is a very, very trying period for Nigerians. If you can afford 3 square meals and you see your neighbor not being able to afford one, lend a helping hand. There are some people that go to bed without food in this country.
Oh, yeah.
And you just see somebody that some people finish eating. You see when you come to their dustbin and see the waste.
Chris,
you understand what I'm saying?
Each time you are eating your meal, you are thinking about some folks somewhere.
That is it.
Who are not.
You know what our parents used to tell us? That don't waste food, because there are some people that don't have anything to eat. They used to drum it into our ears in those days. If you try to wave, they just smile. You say, "Do you know how much this food costs? Do you know there's some?" There's also this point we say when we are eating. Some have food but cannot eat. Some have food but they can. Just get it. So here is a critical piece, but have no food. The citizens, you understand it? So the fact remains that as far as we are concerned now, a lot of people are dying of hunger. So we don't just wait on government. We don't wait on say, be your brother's keeper. This is when you have to be your brother's keeper. Look out for your brothers who are also hungry. If you can be able to help, please kindly do.
All right, so the message to the Muslim faithful is